Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. My name is Paul-Esupofo. Oriade. Thank you this morning. I really appreciate you. Thank you for joining. Please go ahead and share the video, like the video, and make your comment. Ruth Annie this morning. God bless you. Thank you for joining. We are still using this book. We are still doing some things. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Please go ahead and share the video. Invite other people. Or share the video and invite other people, and let's have it grow this morning. I'm going to be more faster because of other programs we have today. In case you call me, my number is not going, just send a text or just send a WhatsApp text. All right, that will solve it. Don't bother to call, all right, unless I ask you to call. All right, thank you very much about that. At the beginning, you're hearing the voice of King Michael. Yes, we're running of prayer time, and also we want to make sure that everything is set. So I really appreciate him. Let's celebrate that, brother. Thank you, Brother King. Okay, so we still continue using this book, Dapo, Adelugba, on theater practice. Theater practice in Nigeria. Yesterday we stopped at a very powerful place. When we talk about the part of the theater psychology. That told us that once somebody change, I read to us that when somebody changes costume, every other thing changes, and it becomes a whole lot of things ferocious. So please go ahead and invite your friends. Go ahead and invite your people, and let's have it. Let me check the volume. The volume is low. Okay. I want to make sure I'm checking the volume, and the volume is good. All right. Okay. So thank you very much for this morning. I really appreciate you, and I want to make sure that the picture quality is also great. The picture quality is good, so I have to check the picture quality is also good. Then you can make your comment and let me know how far the picture quality is. Okay, so inviting as many people this morning. Okay, many people as possible this morning, and share with a lot of people. Send a message, invite other people. Okay, I'll be fast because this morning, like I said, I'm very fast. It may not be too long, maybe 40 minutes or thereabout, maybe. Let's go. Since modern Nigerian theater must seek an appropriate medium for its rather complex and unique artistic expression, and you consider language, including English, as vehicular, to introduce your term rather than a vernacular means of communication. Will you say that Kiriji achieved his communication effectiveness? If so, how? And Professor responded by saying, more or less, I think it did. It achieved effective communication, as you rightly suggested, by the way of the verbal language. The verbal language was precise, and perhaps Wale Oguyemi has that sensitivity to the eloquence and the elegance of the various obas, and emirs. The vehemence of the angry husband, Awuyemi, when his wife was violated, the drunkenness of Osungbekun, Osungbekun. Something about Ogunyemi makes him very sensitive to the sound of words, the arrangement of words, and even in the community where we have we have Reverend Wood, Reverend Wood, Reverend Wood speaking. It was clear that here was an Englishman speaking. So I would say yes, at the level of the verbal authenticity, he succeeded. He also succeeded at the level of the total theatrical output in terms of communication and spectacle. We even had a horse. Right on stage, reading by one of the visiting chiefs. He actually rode the horse into the courtyard on stage. Wow. Then the course music. The course music, the dance, the song, the costume, and the stage. We used what I call the apron grass. And that was the grass beyond the actual setting. That was the grass beyond the actual setting, which was right up there on the side of the Institute courtyard. I think even the grass scene should be played close to the audience. And I invented the term apron grass. I invented the apron grass. If you have ever heard about apron grass, it was Professor Dapo Adelugba that invented the term apron grass, just like my family invented the word evangelical Christian drama. Or what are they, or drama ministry, the drama ministry invented in Nigeria, evangelical Christian drama. Or what are the art theater we will call the apron stage, or what the art theater will call the apron stage. I mean, if we have told you about apron stage before. So I would say that I was very lucky to have had some expert collaboration by the business management class, by the stage management class, business management, stage management class, by the technical theater class, by the actors and actresses who played with a lot of zest, a lot of concentration, and who made the department proud in the production of 1971. Another question. This next question could have come much earlier. That is the difference between theater and drama. In fact, this is a mind-blowing thing. This is another thing of drama versus theater, because a lot of people have fought on this thing seriously. Even in the theater, even the people that study theater art, they've really talk about it. They really fought about it. Some people were like, no, it can't be so. No, somebody said no, it cannot be so. It can be so. I said, okay. I think one of the major things that is so important, for me, is doing the right thing, getting the right details, getting the right details, and getting the right approach to it. And that's a whole lot for me. I won't deceive you. That's a whole lot for me. And it brings about things that you yourself ordinarily would think about and say, so this is what this person meant, this is what he's saying, and this is what I believe he's saying, and it can be of help to a whole lot of things. Okay, sorry about that. To a whole lot of things. So what is between theater and drama? Reason being that you consider yourself a theatrician. You said that you are not a dramatist, but we are saying that you are, because we have a lot of evidence. Ralph Ellison wrote only one novel some 5 decades ago, a classic by any standard, and for which he is known today. Let me go to where the reference is. Ralph Ellison had recently wrote his long-awaited second novel, Noble Vavage, in 1990 then. All right? So that's the reference there. Okay? Anybody who has come across Suberian Code, we know that, yes, this is another classic by any standard. And the man responded, thank you very much, if you say so. Now, we have theater, we have drama. Can you explain what these two concepts really means? Hey, this morning, are you people really ready for this? Because that is only That's the only thing I want to really clarify this morning. Okay, and I will go to 2 more questions, then I will close. All right, then I will close. You know, this year, we thank God. From tomorrow now, that will be till next year. That will be till January 1st. All right, and that will be till January. No, that will be on Sunday, 31st. And on 31st, that will be what I will. So I will not take your time. I will not take much of your time. Rather, I will not take much of your time. Now we have theater, we have drama. Can you explain what these 2 concepts really means? As you yourself know, because you are an expert in the field, as if you're an expert in the field, there is really an agreement over what the difference are. There is no agreement, and I agree with you because there is no agreement. Despite the fact that I said I believe drama is this, many scholars have proved it, and another scholar have proved it also that this drama is this drama is not just that thing you think drama is. Drama is more than that. Drama is more than. But let's go. Sometimes it's a real problem when we talk of theater being different from drama. It's a real problem when we talk about theater. It's being different from drama. But there is no doubt the word theater give us more room for manipulation, because you could say theater includes drama. So that really gave the room. And I love this man, so sincere, because I'm so sincere about it. But let me go on. Reading his point. I don't want to add anything at this time. Okay. So it's not that the word theater gives you more room for manipulation, because you could say theater includes drama. The theater could be seen as a place of performance. The theater could be seen as the artwork that comes out of the collaboration of dramatists. Since you use the word director, production staff, performer, and the entire production ensemble, okay, you could say that you can say what unites this is theater. There is another way of looking at the theater. Drama suggests because the literary inheritance too much of something in the verbal medium. So theater will not limit itself to the verbal medium, the music, the choreographic, the plastic media. The plastic really has been the ultimate aspiration of theater art exploration. So you could say then that what is drama is something. What is drama is something in the verbal medium. You talk of educational drama and educational theater. If you want to start to make distinction, educational drama in the area more is in the area more of the created improvisation, whereas educational theater often works with direct script. Like we have an educational theater often works with direct script, like we have an educational theater doing Shakespeare's plays or Shoyinka's plays. But I would say that we should allow the context to determine the theater and the art, and we allow the content determine the difference between the theater and the drama and the theater. The drama and the theater. The difference are not absolute, inflexible. The difference are not absolute, inflexible, laid down forever and ever between one and the other. Not that way. Theater often includes drama, and drama sometimes include a larger body. Perhaps, due to a lot of theatrical action, a drama could be a scripted from all the improvisation work. So drama may not be lesser partner, rather than drama sometimes can be larger partner. After a lot of improvisation work, both the theater and drama can merge. So I would say that we should just keep an open mind in the use of both terms. Look at the wisdom. The man responded to that question. And I was able, this is a professor talking, but I've been able to trash it out. I've been able to go deeply to see. That's why I said I don't want to add when I was reading it, so that after reading it, I'll be able to say something and all that. So that's a whole lot of things. Fanny, thank you. Good morning, Fanny. God bless you. Okay, please share the video. If this is your first time of joining, please go ahead and share the video. Share the video. Thank you for liking the page, and thank you for coming. Tell me the country of the world you're watching from. Let me know where you are watching from. Okay, I don't want to spend more time in I don't want to spend more time in working on the invitation or inviting people. Okay, so okay, as statisticians, we give access to a dramatist idea. So the statistician themselves could be a maker of their own script. That's true. Probably like Subaru. Probably like Subaru. Okay? No, I wasn't the sole author of that scoundrel Subaru. He said he wasn't the sole author. I wasn't the sole author of that scoundrel Subaru, but my collaborators, Alfred Opubo, Brownson Dede, and Ayo Amu, have always admitted that their own work with Subaru was minor. Yes, O.DASYLVA said, yes, that is what I'm saying. I mean, first and foremost, you are a statistician. Yes. Yet in the play. That's Squirrel Subaru. I could be seen as a dramatist. Okay, he said a marriage of the two, cutting fine. You are right. What? It's a marriage of the two. Yes, you are right. The question continues. Wale Ogunyemi on the title page of his Kiriji refers to the play as an epic. You also seem to agree with the playwright on account of Kiriji and its dramatic quality, in form and topicality. How does the play qualify? How does the play qualify as an epic? How does the play qualify as an epic? How does the play qualify as an epic? Okay, that's a very brilliant question. Perhaps I'm thinking of the epic in the sense of magnitude of the work and of its large dimensions. Excuse me. Of its large dimensions. A work which is an epic of the history or event in the life of a people. A work which is an epic of the history or event in the life of people. I'm also thinking of form. Perhaps the episodic form in which the word epic as opposed to dramatic in quotes. Now, epic in quotes as opposed to dramatic in quotes are being used for the epical theater rather than the dramatic theater. I think I'm seeing a combination of both form, content and style. Form, content and style. Don't forget that we have talked about this thing before. Form, content and style. And so the word epic in quotes fits in that context. Also because of the largeness of the work. Okay, another question. You are once suggested two approaches, presentational and representational, as two options a Nigerian theatrician is left with when handling a Nigerian drama. The former for a drama which lacks depth of characterization but presents crucial events or episodes, and the latter for a drama with depth of characterology, and represent the crucial events. Could you expatiate on the two approaches for clarification? Professor Adelugba said, what a question. I don't know where I said it. Kindly, where did you see it? It's in one of these numerous papers of yours. I was probably dreaming when I wrote it. Anyway, my own position is that I find in African production likely that it is impossible to stay totally within a representational mode. Contests arise when I used to be very critical of this, especially in the works of some of my colleagues, and I say that they are breaking out of the truth of representation. But then there are lines there. There are lines that call for a certain presentational approach, even within the representational totality of the production. So I would say that you cannot be totally presentational in your work, even in the presentational theater of Brecht. There are moments when there is that representational substructure for certain sections of the episode. So I would say that separation, as you so tidily put it, might lead to further question. And I was surprised that you are claiming to be certain. Yes, I probably did it. What did I say? The presentationer will be. Now you can imagine that one asking the silver again, and the silver responded, say that the representational approach is better for a play that lacks depth of characterization but present crucial events and episodes. Yes, I think I was thinking of episodic theater, and again, maybe I would have pleaded my case because the episodic theater needs elasticity in character at all for. It may just be stressing a class approach. So maybe I would like to take a look at that I said there again. Can you imagine what happened? These are brilliant. These are brilliant things. These are intelligent questions. Intelligent questions, really. And they say yes. And that leads to another coinage of yours. Ogunyemism. Ogunyemism in quotes. It is a term that you coined to characterize Wole Ogunyemi's rather specialized use of the English language. Uh, is it the same as Yorubanglish? Yorubanglish, another coinage of yours. Can you see when you become an authority, you can do anything? There was a time that I talked about evangelitainment. I said, you are an authority. I'm not saying no. You are an authority. If you create anything now, once it's just keep on doing that, it becomes acceptable. All right. At least it has now been brought to the fore for exam. I had to pay for all my sins. Ogunyemism, as I very honestly said, is when you start to break down Wallace Ogunyemi, Wallace Ogunyemi's work, Wallace drama, Wallace creative work, and you start to say this could stay within the Yorubanglish idioms, that could stay within such and such a medium, and so on. After all that, you are still left with a few things, and these are the things which I said are difficult to categorize, and that is the only way I can really deal with them, is to call them Ogunyemisms in quotes. All right, because you cannot find them in any other dramatist in the whole wide world. Yet with Ogunyemi's work, some people used to claim it is an error, or that he did not understand English adequately enough. That might have been true once upon a time, but he does understand English very well now. Yet he has not totally dropped those things which I call Ogunyemisms, so that must be part and parcel of his own individuality as an artist. Those are the things I'm referring to as his word. And let me be sincere with you, there is no way, even as I'm presenting for you over here now, you know the style. Oh, this is the style Paul is using. Oh, this is the style everybody is using. This style, this one, this approach, this is the way this man is thinking this way and all that. So next to the question, another question. In fact, your response is almost preemptive now to the next question. Okay, I had better let the next question come. Very, very interesting interview, really. Very, very interesting interview. And let me see. Okay, I have 3 or 4 more questions to go. In Ogunyemi's foreground by Yoruba language communication, mannerism and humoric. Most critics consider the point you try to make an account of Ogunyemi's language to be specious and unconvincing. They argue that it was a desperate attempt by you to divert attention from Ogunyemi's general weakness, which you have just mentioned. Suppose we look beyond the particular in the light of playwrights like Soyinka's Kongi's Harvest or Laro to Me the Girls Are Not to Blame, Jake P. Clark, Bikederemo's trilogy, Son of a Goat, Masquerade or Raft or The Raft, or his recent play, Hall for Hoy, and Ama Ata Aido's play. In all these dramatists, we acknowledge the dexterous use of language and the masterly uh, transliteration into English ideas and speeches of characters who in real life speak their indigenous languages. If this was what Ogunyemi has tried to achieve in his general, then one suspect is limitation, linguistic limitations, more so that his weakness become more apparent when seen against the achievement of this other playwright. Your reactions. Let me act like professor. I don't think it is totally untrue to say that he has turned his weaknesses into strength. An erudite critic might think that I am desperately trying to defend Ogunyemi, playing the devil's advocate. So you rightly said a few minutes ago, but I do not think I'm trying to defend him. In the production contest, as I keep arguing in my few writings that you have read, one learns lesson that one cannot learn in any other contest. And I'm aware of rehearsals of Ogunyemi's work, and I have a firm understanding that there are certain forms that are not purely English or Yorubanglish, and this and which are not true to his not understanding English enough. But there are certain things which are just like his own unique view of the world. For instance, if you read Wale Ogunyemi's play, you could find that sooner or later his travelers are going to stop somewhere. They are going to put firewood together. They are going to start roasting yams. These details have become a personal trend that something is going to happen. And he's about the only dramatist who has been so consistent that if you see Ogunyemi's work, you will see that this is what happened in all the plays, and that's just one example of what I mean by Ogunyemiism. Even now that the arrangement of the words which that he is not so expert in English language, which now that he is so expert in English language, when you read, there are still Ogunyemiism in his play, The Divorce. He wrote it in England, where he had access to specialists in English language who could help him look over the script and so on. But that is what I call Ogunyemiism. The uniqueness of an artist, and as you say, silhouetted against the background of the works of other dramatists of his generation. Perhaps one will still have to admit that he has his own area of weakness. Yes, I think ultimately I have to admit that. Next question. From your explanation now, it simply means that even by the time one has identified certain areas which one common features in other playwrights' work, there will still be a certain things left. That's right. Therefore, the idea of insinuating one against the other may not arise. I think you have got me right. I think your comment is of value, but I said if there are weaknesses, he has managed it. He has managed it in the production contest, or we have managed being collaborator to turn them into strengths. As you're joining, please tell us where you're watching from, and also please invite as many people as possible. Okay, invite as many people as possible. In a post-production remarks on Eugene Ionesco's bowed Sporano. Eugene, Eugene, Ionesco, Ionesco. Then bowed Sporano, just like I pronounce it, Sporano in quotes. And Edward abused the American dream. I think I saw one recently this morning. It's the American dreams in Canada. The American dreams in Canada. That's a very big thing. Mounted by your department in, I cannot remember the year now, Professor Adelugba responded. Largely mounted by the Theatre Art Production Group, and I think it was 1969 or was it 1970? You can check that in a review of the production in Ibadan. You can check. Another question. You seem to have suggested that absurd playwrights and probably absurd directors do possess the supernatural gift of vision, the ability to dig into the hidden past. Does this not contradict the idea of absurdism, that the absurdist neither hopes for anything nor lives for tomorrow? Granted that the absurdities possess this gift, of what use is it to them? Of what use is it to them? A very good question. Professor Dapo Adelugba said, I think the area of the absurd drama and absurd theater is highly fascinating because of all these contradictions are in fact of art of absurdism. The absurdists are philosophers in the most profound manner, and so they may seem not to hope at all for tomorrow or so on. They seem to live in the realm of abstraction, but even those abstractions are crystals which had been formed from reality, and so the absurdity are in fact super realist in the profound sense. So I do not see any contradiction between those two aspects of absurdity. Can you see brilliant work talking here? And this is the final question this morning. This is the final question I'm going to be answering this morning. All right. Final question. Langbodo 77, in quote, which you had the privilege of directing for Festac 77, more or less provided on the one ground a litmus test, and on the other hand a watershed for those directorial aspirations, or let me say directorial dream of yours that you have often expressed. Fortunately, your directorial experimentation got a high pass mark, judging by the audience's reception and the post-production encomiums by critics, which your production crew received. But in your opinion, what would you say accounted for the success of your production? And people have been asking, what do you think is? I know they live by faith. I know they this and all that. We all live by faith and all that. What other things do you put in place? Well, before I answer directly, I must say that Langbodo was a highly frustrating project because we had been gathered together as early as June 1976, and was it July? We have been having several conferences virtually every month. They were having several conferences. I mean, the directors of various events. I was director of the drama. Akin Ehuba was director of the music event. Several people constituted the directorate of the traditional costumes and directorate for Nigeria's participation at Festac 77. Papa Ayorinde was the director of traditional costume and so on. And I said to the director of culture, the federal director of culture, Dr. Garuba Ashiwaju, that I wanted to begin work. Thank you for calling us so early, but this is the time I really must begin work on my production. In quote, I said to him. So to answer the question, Langbodo was successful. It was a lot of work, but if we had started when we wanted to start, which was July 1976, perhaps it would have been better than what it was. So that is the only answer I have for now. My use of Langbodo has been well documented, but any opportunity to add to what I have said so far, I will not hesitate to take. Langbodo was not my choice. I would have preferred to do a dance of the forests. A dance of the forests. Two decision maker thought it might be a bit too intellectual. I didn't agree. I said that I had worked on my own production book, the various icon and stage metaphors and images that will make a dance of the forests simple for the audience, and I will still have opportunity of doing a dance of the forest as I conceive it sometime in the future, where I don't know whether he has done it or he has given it to somebody now that it's later, right? The way I approach both Langodo and the dance of the forest and Kiriji before it was to have worked out a set of visual images. Can you see? Even on stage. Because some of you thought that it's only the film that you have to think of. No. Even on stage. Now, choreographic images, the musical images, using the resources of the annual festivals of the arts of the 60s and 70s. And I really spent several weeks just watching all old tapes. All the old videotapes and trying to come to terms with which particular aspects of the dance culture, of the music culture, of the dramatic culture I wanted to zero in on at different times in the dramatic action. But perhaps that is a task that would yield more dividend in future productions. Now, that is the task for the future, and that's the task for the future. An analysis of what I try to do as a director in the process of preparing for the first rehearsal to boost the work of the actors and the production staff. For instance, for a start, maybe I will considering directing. Maybe I will consider directing Osofison's work as part of a season of African theater play. I have been working on that possibility, but I am glad you raised this issue, which has been on my mind. In more recent times, are you listening? Somebody writing something? Is somebody writing something? In more recent years, I have concentrated on the African drama, but in early years, I used to be fascinated with the international repertory. I have done Lingui Pirandello's The Man with the Flower in His Mouth. That's the title of the thing. I have done opera Moyosi, showing cast adaptation of John Gay and Bertolt Brecht. I have done Shakespeare's. I have done Chekhov. One of my favorite Chekhov's play is The Bear. I have done The Married Proposal, which Osofisson adapted and called it The Engagement. I have done The Wedding, also by Chekhov. So I will say that you are right, that in the Africa area, perhaps I have done much. The same thing goes for West Africa and Nigerian drama, but I do intend to move out into Eastern and Northern African drama in subsequent year. That's where I'm stopping this money. Like I told us, that's where I'm stopping this money in subsequent year. And we're going to go ahead and do that tomorrow by the grace of God. Now, one of the things I've seen, and I have to tell you, is that in reading all these things, I just felt that it was giving me a kind of thing. But maybe before I come up, I open it, I read it, and I go through some things. By the time I'm reading the game, it's becoming a more lighter and brighter. And I could imagine you that are watching, you that are listening, for your patience, because I must appreciate you for your patience. Thank you very much for your patience. I want to thank God for your life. Monday through Friday, that's the end for this class this morning. We'll continue tomorrow. Monday through Friday is 9:30 a.m. Nigeria time. Saturday and Sunday is 9:30 p.m. respectively. So we trust the Lord, we believe the Lord. He will give us hope and a future in the name of Jesus. Whatever vision God has given to you, please start something. When I say God will give us hope and a future, it means start now. The future begins now. It begins right now. It begins today. So you just have to understand the concept. And you look at it when you talk about some things. You just have to document every bit of the things you are doing now. If you don't do well, I'm sorry, it may be ranked later. So I want to thank God for your life. Thank you very much. Please feel free to share this video. Till another time. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. Bye.